You're listening to the Backyard TARDIS Random Thoughts Podcast, part of the Red 5 Network.
Well, Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS, and, I am here to talk about my bottom 5 of Quantum Leap Season 2. So, when you have 22 episodes in a season, you're always going to have a couple that don't quite hit the mark. And I will say that not all of these are the worst of the worst, but these ones have flaws with them. And so, overall, Season 2 is a great season, but these ones just didn't make the cut. So, starting at number 5, because remember, we're counting down where 1 is the worst, so this is where you don't want to be number 1, but is Freedom. I gave this a C-. Sam leaps into a Native American in jail with his grandpa, trying to help him to go home to die, so that he doesn't die in a convalescent home. And they have previously stolen a vehicle to do this. This is why they ended up in jail. The plot is sloppy. The theme and message to me is not the greatest. I get the wanting to die with your people and in freedom and not in the nursing home, but there's some messaging in here that I'm not 100% with. Sam is at the end when he dies. Sam's there for that moment, not the grandson. And you go, oh, well, maybe the grandson didn't care. Maybe it was No, the grandson was in jail trying to help him do this. The reason Sam's there is because the grandson wasn't going to succeed, but he's stolen from that grandson the moment of being there with his grandfather when he dies. And that makes it that. So why is this not, more towards the bottom? Well, Frank Salcido, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, but he's a national treasure. I mean, he's just, he's in everything. He's, it makes me think of like Harry Kim talked about, now I can't think of his name, an actor that like approached him, Garrett Wong. So that, he approached him and said, "Oh, I think Harry Kim should have this crazy uncle, and it could be me." And it could, and he said, because he hustles, he goes out there. He's like, "We're not even the same Asian," and he's like, "It doesn't matter. They won't be able to, And I think that Frank is kind of the same thing. Like anytime there's any role that could call for a Native American, especially like an older kind of wise, kooky one, he's like, "I'm there. He's making calls. And he has thick skin about it. He has no problem with the tropes. And so why is this not lower? Because the Redskins beat the Cowboys. And it had some comical elements with the sheriff and stuff, but the overall messaging of the episode really kind of, Okay, number 4 in our countdown to the lowest episode of Season 2 of Quantum Leap is Blind Faith. I gave this a D. Sam jumps into a blind pianist to stop a serial killer, but he can see? This started, now they're raising questions, and eventually the show did go, I think, the way of saying, no, it's Sam's body, and everybody is seeing a projection of the other body, and yet that person's body is transported to the future, but everybody's seeing a projection of Sam's body. That's weird to me. I think it should just be Sam's soul or essence going in there. It's Sam's physical body, and then saying, well, that's why when Sam's a woman, he can punch like a man, and when he has no legs, he can stand up, as we'll see in another episode. This is the first episode that really made me aware of this concept. But then we've seen the other thing of when Sam was a chimp, he could swim. We'll get to that in a future season. Honestly, there's just a lot of messiness in this. And the other subplot, the girlfriend's mother, was very grating. She wants to go to operas, and she's treating her like she's going out clubbing. Like, Beatlemania is going on. All these girls are going out clubbing, throwing themselves at these posters, and she's going to that, and she's treating it. We get the detail that Sam plays at Carnegie Hall at 9 years old. Once again, that they make Sam a little bit too much of a young Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. Like, he is like brilliant in everything, and he's this. And usually people who have this many doctorates and this many things and all this and are that brilliant are not as likable as we see Sam. So it just kind of, But really what it was for me is that he leaps in and he doesn't save the first murderer. Or save the first, or the victim. And that irks me. So that's a big reason why this went. Like, the other stuff around the episode, but that's like a big thing for me. If the rest of the episode was good, maybe I overlook that. But that really gets me. Okay, number 3 as we're counting down is Animal Frat. And I also gave this a D. So why is this a D but a little bit more? This is... Honestly, this was almost my number 2. I went back and forth what my number 2 in this is. But Sam leaps into a frat house in a college, and he's got to stop an explosion in a chem lab by anti-war people. One, if there is a higher power doing this, he leaped into the worst person to try to help do this, because he leaped into a jock, and nobody in this movement is willing to trust him because he's a jock. They don't believe him. They think he's just trying to get into this girl's pants. The fact of the matter is, Quantum Leap does such a good job, and we've talked about some of like my best favorite episodes where Sam leaps into a time period and how accurate they do that time period. How accurate they tackle the social issues and show all sides of stuff. But here, we are leaping into American Pie. We are leaping into any of those frat house movies where it is the Hollywood depiction of college life, not actual college life. And the fact that it is such that is just, yeah. And in the original history, they all have to go into hiding. Basically, it's based on the 1970s Sterling Hall bombing. And that's a very serious subject. And they're copying serious things, but then they're putting in this college humor thing that it would be like, it's in bad taste. If you had an episode about Sam having to stop something on the level of like the Twin Towers being taken down, but you made it a James Bond parody. That's what this feels like. It's a very serious thing, and yet it feels like a goofy movie parody. And that really brings it down. Okay, my number 2. A Portrait for Troian. Price of Reason was I had this episode I try to block out of my mind, which is why I have trouble with it. Sam leaps into a ghost hunter. She believes that her late husband is haunting her because she's hearing his voice. He drowned in the lake. People have, over history, been drowning in this lake. But this lady doesn't know how to swim, and she spends all of her time by the lake. Her brother is behind it. He wants the inheritance and the money. There is kind of a little jump the shark moment. The maid is a ghost, or is she evil leaper, or is she another kind of leaper? You don't know, but she looks like just one of the bodies that they pulled out, and then she leaps away, or vanishes. So she's kind of a ghost. So like I said, jumping the shark, there's just so many plot holes in the script. It's not good. When it comes to like the spooky episodes, this probably is the best one in my opinion. They try to do like one a season, and this probably is, out of all of them, the best one. That's not my thing, so yeah, I have some bias against this for that. But even still, I like when, say if I'm watching Castle or Murder, She Wrote or something like that, I'm okay with a semi-spooky, like the Scooby-Doo, is this, but I wasn't having her kind of be the ghost then. I did not like that. If there was anything that I thought was redeeming and why this is not my number 5 or my number 1 worst episode of the season, the Al and Sam banter was amazing. Having Al all get the heebie-jeebies over being in the crypt and all that kind of stuff was fun. But outside of that, not much redeeming about it. The bones were good. If you wanted to tell a creepy story, I feel like the bones were good, but the plot just had so many holes in it that constantly it was like, the actions people take didn't make sense, and everything just kind of felt like it was contrived, and like it needed a couple more runs of the script. Okay, my number 1 least liked episode of season 2 of Quantum Leap. Maybe Baby. Also, give this one a D. You could almost give this a D minus, because it is my lowest one. This episode is just so bad. Sam is a club bouncer, and he's in the middle of a kidnapping with one of the dancers that is a compulsive liar named Bunny. Okay, a woman named Bunny who is a club dancer that's a compulsive liar, and Sam's going along with kidnapping this baby. Now, it turns out that was the right thing to do. I would not have made that decision. I don't think I would have stayed with her. I would have taken that baby, found out where she was taking it, and I would have separated from that, go to that town, go to the sheriff, but I would have done that on my own. I would have left her in the middle of the night. All the lying she's doing, my gut is to take that baby away from her. They constantly endanger this child. They're climbing out a roof with a baby in a basket. Like so much of this is just, as a parent, this just irks me. She's real sleazy, compulsive. Like, if she wasn't such a liar, if she was, it's the constant her lying and Sam going along with her. But they reinforced it in the end. It was the right decision to make. But it's almost because the plot wants it that Sam doesn't realize he shouldn't be making this. The more I think about this, the more This is a low for the season. This is my low. So that's my bottom 5. Some of these might be ones that you like. If you're really into like the American Pie, college toga scene, whatever, the Animal Frat was probably super fun for you. If you really kind of like the spooky mystery stuff like that, maybe Portrait for Troian was good to you. Maybe if you like compulsive liars who endanger babies, maybe Baby is for you. And I could see what were the other ones. Freedom, if you're really into Indian culture, that might have been one. Blind Faith, maybe if you like that piano scene, this one's specialty. Like, I could see why some people might like these. These are not Maybe Baby, I think, is all around bad. I'm sorry, I don't think anybody likes that. Portrait for Troian and Frat House, I feel like the I could see why people would like it, but the stuff is so bad. The other two are, they're not for me. I could see why some people might like them, but these are the low of season 2. There's no like super F. Like maybe Baby comes close, but none of these are like awful. It makes me angry, but I wouldn't want to rewatch these. Maybe Freedom, and maybe Blind Faith. Maybe Blind Faith should be a D+. It's funny. Like I don't believe in S minuses, and I kind of don't believe in D+. It's like, although it's more like an F+. But like when you start getting certain low, it's like if you're that low, you're that low. Yeah. So these are my bottom. Let me know what yours are. Keeping this short and sweet. I know I'm a little behind. Had some family stuff, but my stuff for season 3 should be coming out soon enough with both my likes and dislikes, as well as season 4 before the next week on the Quantum Leap Revisited. If you want a full breakdown of the full season from the panel, along with the chat, linked in the chat is going to be our discussion of season 2. Definitely check that out, and I will catch you in the next video.
Greetings, listener. Just a reminder that the podcast you just heard is a proud member of the Red 5 Network family. Red 5 Network offers you a great variety of shows you'll be sure to love. So the next time you're itching for quality content, make sure you head over to Red 5 Network. You'll find this podcast along with a whole lot more. All wings report in. It's the Red 5 Network.